go.
You just did. Day 2.
Day 2.
We're on the go.
That's a cut. It's day 2. Down the go.
We are bringing you things today that will help you when you're traveling and sewing, going to classes, retreats, a friend's house, anything.
Sit and sew. If you come here for a sit and sew,
Yep.
you can bring all your stuff.
Yep. So we're making it easier for you to cart all that stuff with you so you have everything you need when you are going away from home sewing.
So number 1, I would choose this. It's the Toteology. Purple and teal it comes in. It's a tote. It's totally totes. It's got all the little pockets. It fits your big mat. It fits all your big rulers. It fits your little rulers, your little weeny rulers, and it's got big zippered pocket on the back. I think I like the fact that it's clear.
Yeah.
So I'm not always looking for everything because you can see it.
Absolutely.
And then
I was just gonna
you
say
could put your lunch in here. Nice big spot. Okay.
Put my lunch in there.
If you're away sewing for the day, it puts your candy and your chocolate in here.
I like that idea better.
Yeah, you know I'm all about chocolate. And then there's also the purple color. So I'm more teal, I think. So I would take the teal, but I think my friend would take the purple.
Because she's a princess.
She's a purple princess. What we also have in purple, I think this is cool. This is it's a Petal Pad. So this is edged in purple, but if you have your pedal under your sewing machine keeps slipping around, you put this under and it stops it from slipping. So I have a really big sewing pedal. So when I sew for a long time, I keep pushing it around. This helps keep it in place. But what happens with mine is if I twist it the wrong way, the little side cutter keeps cutting. So I end up cutting instead of sewing. So this I'm going to get because that would be really helpful to stop my pedal from moving around.
And sometimes when you're going to somewhere you've never been before, you don't always know what the floor surface is going to be like and whether that's going to be a problem. So this is nice and small, fits in your bag, doesn't take up a lot of room, and it's there if you need it, and it's not taking up a ton of space if you don't.
Do you have an iron?
I have this iron. I love it. It's fantastic. A lot of times when you have the little travel irons, they don't get as hot as like a regular iron. And I find that this one is not one of those. It gets pretty hot and you can put water in it. It's actually a steam iron, which is sometimes hard to find in travel irons too, because sometimes they're just dry, which is fine too. But I like to have the option sometimes.
Yeah, you steam a lot. When you
I steam with my big iron, not with this iron, but I usually use this one dry, but like I said, I like to have the option. Yeah. And again, for traveling, it doesn't take up much space.
Well, not even for traveling to sew, traveling to,
to the living room
vacation.
Even. True.
See, stop wearing that wrinkly shirt all the time.
Absolutely. You can use it for clothes too. I mean, I wouldn't, but
Yeah. I don't either. Just if you do, you could take that.
We also have some featured Quilters Select rulers. These ones are on the smaller side. If we haven't converted you to Quilters Select rulers yet, what is wrong with you?
We use these in the shop, and I'm a convert because I have one of those old school ones that doesn't have any mine slips, so I had to put some film on it, still slips. Then I started working in the shop. This thing has it grips on the table, grips on your fabric, so it doesn't slip. So you're going to be more accurate. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And it's all these, this is we have the...
These are great small sizes to put in your travel bag. you know, when you're traveling with like a 6 by 24 inch ruler or an 8.5 by 24 inch ruler, you get a little leery about where you're putting it down and what you're putting it in because they're long and they can be fragile. But these ones are on the shorter side, so they're nice and easy to tuck into a bag that you already use for some other things.
Perfect. I did buy the big one because fragile. I dropped mine putting it in the car, dropped my big long expensive ruler, chipped a corner of it, so I had to buy a new big long one. And because it was the old style without the Quilter Select non-stick, like the grippy part, I have a nice new one with the grippy bits on it. So
I think that might have been on purpose.
Could be. There's all different sizes here. That's like a 3 by 12 and a, what are we doing, 6.5 by 6.5. So those are all Reindeer game special prices.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have the OmniGrid fold away pressing mat and cutting mat in 2 sizes. Sometimes when you go to retreat, stuff like that, it's kind of a fight to get to the iron because everybody's sharing, you know, an iron, and you don't want to walk halfway across the room to get to a cutting mat. So it's always nice to have a small one that's right beside you. You don't have to go too far, although you should get up and walk around a little bit every once in a while.
Good. I have this size, and I have, so right beside my sewing table at home, not even at retreat, I have a little sort of folding table, folds down when I need a little more space, but it's right beside me. I have one of these, I have a little mini iron, and of course a little ruler. And if I'm doing lots of little piecing and I have to cut, and I don't want to get up and cut all these million little pieces, I just do the lazy girl sit, turn, sit. So this is
just little bits of trimming, bits. Right?
Yeah, it's perfect. This thing's perfect for that.
Yeah.
And this part is this is great, but this little irony bit, that's the best part.
You want to make sure this is cooled down before you close it up and head home, because you could ruin your cutting mat if it's still pretty hot.
Good tip.
And I would always go for the bigger one.
And
last but not least, you never know what the lighting is going to be like when you go somewhere to sew. You might be stuck in a back corner of the room and the lights may be 40 years old, so you always want to make sure that you have your Caterpillar Flex light. This has a rechargeable battery, so it can run for 3 hours on high, around 6 hours on medium, and 10 hours on low. And low is actually pretty bright when you're in a dark corner of the room. So you can use it, of course, when it's plugged in as well. You just have to make sure that you have a plug near you. And it has a cute little cradle that you just affix to your machine with double-sided tape, and you slip your light in.
But we only have a few of these.
Yeah, we're limited on stock on these because the price went up, so we pre-ordered a bunch so that we could give a special price because you're not going to see them at this price again, unfortunately. So if you have been procrastinating and not getting the light that you deserve for your machine, order early, because once they're gone, they're gone.
And this one, you can put it on the back of your machine and then bring the little light. I actually have a decent light that's right on my needle when I sew, but I don't have a good light overall. So that I'm going to get one of those so I can have a little more decent light to like in front of my needle.
See, you can see it. And I think that's on low and then medium and high. Now obviously it's going through the plastic of the packaging, so it's not quite that representational of how bright it is, but yeah, it's just a little tiny light and you can direct that right where you need it without it being in your way from being able to see where you're sewing.
Perfect.
So that's it. Day two. Remember, put the items you want in your cart and check out before the end of the day, before midnight, because at midnight, all of these deals disappear.
You can keep adding things every day and you're only going to pay one shipping price. So there is that, right? You can every day you buy things you're only going to ship them once at
Yeah.
the very end.
Yes, we take all the orders and we consolidate them at the end, and then we ship everything all together once it arrives, or you can come pick up in the store.
Happy Reindeer Games. Day 2.
Bye.